Like what we do? Consider supporting the channel by becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the description below. And as always, please enjoy the story.
I look at them both, confused. How does she know that I've been transformed? Wait, she does look familiar. I do recognize that shiny fur for some reason. My tail flicks as I stare deep in thought. She's the cat that scratched me this morning! Are you finding it odd being a girl? Lorelei asks me honestly. Bit of a shock for you, I'm sure. You did this to me, Ow! I growl as my blood begins to boil. Change me back! Right now! Lorelei steps back nervously and stares mystified at Lars. You haven't told her, have you? No, he replies quickly, shaking his head with a bleak expression. Lorelei then turns back to me with an uneasy smile. Stepping forward, she grabs my hand with her paw and looks into my eyes. You humans have a saying about us cats, she explains slowly. It's said that cats have 9 lives, right? I nod my head in agreement. Well, Lorelei continues, letting go of my hand, that's only somewhat true. The details are a little off. In truth, what we have is 9 different lives we can affect. I narrow my eyes and scratch my ear. I don't understand what you're saying or what that has to do with changing me back. Lorelei gives me a warm smile before lowering her head. Understand it like this, she continues with a gloomy tone. For me to have transformed you into the lovely girl you are now, I've lost what you'd say is one of my 9 lives in the process. So it really was you, I bark. Just use another life, then, and change me back. Lars steps forward and places a supportive hand on Lorelei's shoulder. He slowly shakes his head at me as I demand to be changed back. She can't, he says gently, but with a stern expression. That was her last. Any more and she will pass on. That won't be happening on my watch. I can't believe this! You change me then, I impatiently huff, pointing at Lars. You do it if she can't. Lars awkwardly coughs and looks away. I can't, he replies, touching Lorelei's shiny, colorful fur. Only one's chosen for this gift can do it. Lorelei is the last I know. You've gotta understand that we are banking our chances of saving our way of life on you. Getting a headache, I find it all too much to take in. I press my back up against the wall and cover my eyes. There has to be a way to change me back. I can't stay like this. Why? I mumble stressfully through my fingers. Why me? See, Lorelei? Lars emphasizes. I told you to target the sister. She wouldn't have had to deal with the gender change. Would have been so much easier to get her on our side. No! Lorelei quickly answers, determined to defend her decision. Believe in my choice, Lars. Don't act so defeated in front of the princess. It's rude. I'm not the princess of this horrible place, I scream. Please, stop calling me that. Princess, Lars quickly replies in panic. Lower your voice, please. Frustrated, my chest rises and falls with each long breath. I glare at Lars as he holds his hands up to quell my rage. Mitzy? Lorelei says softly, trying to defuse the situation. Please, sit down and let me try to explain what's happening. I shut my eyes for a few seconds and try to calm myself. Moving over to the small cloth seat next to the fire, I sit and take in a long breath. Okay, I say, flapping down my dress to cover my knees. Start by telling me what the biscuits happened here. Lorelei swiftly moves to sit on the floor next to me. Lars continues to stand, looking over us both with broad shoulders. There used to be so many like me, Lorelei explains, wiping her face with her paw. Families, friends, all playing in this area without care. I still remember the celebrations we'd have when Formidors were born. Formidors? I'm quick to ask, breaking her flow. Grimalkins, like me, she replies with a smile. We have a gift. Usually, that gift means we have fur that is different. Mine is a shiny pink color. Grimalkins? I ask, shifting nervously in my seat. So, are cats like you the only ones to have 9 lives? Oh, yes. You humans call us cats, but we are Grimalkins, Lorelei says, smiling. And yes, only Formidor Grimalkins have that ability. We can use our 9 times to change anyone we like. I see her turn her attention to the arm that she scratched on me this morning. I'm glad I didn't cause too much harm. If what she's telling me is true, there are others out there like her. Others that can change me back to normal. Where are the other Formidor Grimalkins? I ask, desperate for an answer. Gone, Lars interrupts. Or they've fled to the human world. You mean... Yes, dead, Lars is quick to answer. We are few and scattered these days. Our culture is dying and our way of life has vanished. We've fallen into fighting between us for what remains, and none of us can agree on anything. I can see that, I reply, looking out of the small window. What happened to this place? He took it, Mitzy, Lorelei sobs. He took what was ours. For generations, Formidors like me would help those in need. It was our calling. It was our destiny. Until he came and took our most precious of treasures. Who is he? And what did he take? I instantly ask, not following. Truth is, Lars answers, his worries growing heavier with each word. We don't know. All we know is that he is of human origin. No one knows what he truly looks like or how he even got here. That's not all, Mitzy, Lorelei interrupts, drawing my attention. What he took allowed for Formidors like me to be born. Without it, our society collapsed. What did he take? What does it do? It's a sphere, Lars answers abruptly. A sphere that has several missing pieces or chunks. I look at Lars and see the dread on his face. He's serious about what he's saying. Sphere? I question. I was expecting, I don't know, something a little grander. Oh, it's precious, Lorelei is quick to answer. Turning to face Lars, Lorelei gives him a complicated look. Lars, what was the human word for it again? Oh, Lars ponders, rubbing his neck for a moment. A philosopher's stone. Wait, I grumble, getting a little confused. How can that lead to the collapse of an entire society? Ugh, child, Lorelei scoffs. Imagine in your world that someone stole all the resources. What do you think would happen? Scrunching my face, I reach up to scratch one of my cat ears. We'd have no power. Or food. I suppose that would be complete chaos. Lorelei nods and smiles. Then imagine that small amounts of resources were left behind. What do you think people would do? My tail flaps as a terrible answer comes to mind. Everyone would fight over them. War. Not just a pretty face, Lars chuckles. Can you see, Princess? Our society collapsed and fell to infighting. Now what remains of our culture is scattered. I give Lars a quick nod, then look down at myself in Carrie's dress. What are they expecting me to do about it? I'm just a young girl. Actually, even younger than when I woke up this morning as a boy. Thank you both for answering my questions, but I'm still very confused as to why you think I can help with any of this. I sigh, shaking my head at the absurd idea. Remember we said it had chunks missing? Lorelei says, getting to her feet and walking over to the small window to look outside. We need those broken off pieces. Retrieving them will give our people hope and something to rally behind. Lars moves over to comfort Lorelei by placing a hand on her shoulder. You see, we hope that once we have the sphere back, we can try to rebuild our home. Sure, I dubiously reply, rubbing my arm as Lars comforts Lorelei. Still, I don't want to be rude, but I'm nothing special. Saving the world isn't exactly something I've done before. Try not to think too much into it, Princess. Lars is swift to answer, letting go of Lorelei as she turns to face me. Just know this. Humans can't pass into this world. However, You, as a half Grimalkin, half human, can move safely between both. So? I reply, shrugging my shoulders. I'm still confused. Surely you both can too. We turn into cats, Lars interrupts, touching his sword. I'm not much of a knight in the human world. We need you to help find the missing pieces in the human world, Lorelei states bluntly. So I just need to find the pieces and then you'll be able to change me back to normal, right? Lorelei quickly turns to give Lars a worried face. Then they both smile uncomfortably, clearly hiding something from me. We aren't sure, Lars answers. We need to find another willing Formador. Lorelei then opens her mouth to talk, but Lars holds his paw over her mouth. Don't say it, he exclaims, stopping her from talking. Nervously smiling, Lars lets go of Lorelei's mouth and puts his hands on his sword with confidence. Standing tall, he gives us both a wide grin. I will, of course, be your guide in all things, he declares, speaking with passion. I will accompany you back to the human world. Lowering a shoulder, I stand with one hand on my hip. As Meow pet cat? I ask sarcastically. Is that a problem? Lars asks, clearly a little offended by my reaction to his chivalry. I guess not. I smirk, pointing at his sword. You can't have that in the house. My parents will ask too many questions. Lars grins and we share a playful look. Your parents might be more sympathetic to our cause than you quite realize. You both must go, now, Lorelei demands, looking rather jittery. Lars instantly holds out his hand for Lorelei to take. Pulling her close to him, she rubs his nose against hers. Lorelei does the same in what must be an intimate moment for them. Stay safe, Lars tells her, rubbing his whiskers against the side of her face. You too, my love, Lorelei lovingly responds, holding him tight.